episode 74 of the All the Books Show, the official podcast of the David A. Howe Public Library. I'm Eric Mickles.
And I'm Nick Gunning.
And we're your... Oh, I used to say it now. I don't say it anymore.
Now you always say I used to say it.
Yeah.
So you don't need to do that precursor.
Okay.
Just say it.
We talk book news.
Yeah.
Author news and literary events.
Special
I could
spotlights.
have said literary news.
You could have, but
Yeah.
you chose not to. Mm-hmm. So how are you?
Fine. Tired.
Great. You escaped the escape room. So
We
Good
should
news.
put that some context.
Yeah.
Nick and I did an escape room.
not just
this
the
weekend.
two of us. It wasn't
Yeah,
like
just you and me.
It wasn't like a
Two
team
friends.
building exercise with trust falls and
No.
puzzles.
No, it's for my wife's birthday.
Yeah.
So we got a
Good group.
escape room in Rochester.
Yeah.
A great escape room.
Yeah.
Sherlock themed.
Yeah.
We can't share the secrets.
That's right. We can't.
Only
so
the
don't even
memories.
ask. Don't even. It was a lot of fun though.
Yeah.
I'd never done anything like that before.
I still
so it
can't
was-
tell if that girl was sarcastic with me when she said I was the most excited person she's
You
ever
didn't-
seen in
you
an
didn't
escape
strike
room.
me as particularly
I know,
excited. So
which-
maybe that's just part of the script. Maybe she says it to everyone.
Because if I was the most excited, they're in trouble.
I really liked the music. They played like tense music in
Yeah.
the background the whole time. So we just had the hour. So it's like we have 15 minutes left. The music's like dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun.
Yeah.
It was pretty good.
It's from
It was
Sherlock.
a lot of fun. Yeah.
It's from the Sherlock movie.
Oh, was that
Yeah.
the Robert Downey Jr. music?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That kind of
I didn't recognize it.
harpsichord? Is that what it is?
I haven't seen those movies in a long time.
Okay.
The Downey Jr. ones. I liked Game of Shadows quite a bit. I didn't so much like the first one.
I did like the second one more than the first one.
Yeah. I want to go back and watch
I
them.
wonder which one Rachel McAdams preferred.
I don't know because
first one.
she wasn't in the second one very
Right.
much, so
Yeah.
she probably got a nice paycheck without a lot of work. So anyway, that's what we did for Eric's wife's birthday.
Yeah.
And it was a lot of
Scary.
fun.
Nick
we
almost
should do one
tore
here.
the wall apart.
Okay.
The lady kept
All
asking
right.
you to stop.
All right.
No, the lady inside was...
Yeah.
I don't know.
We had a visit. We had like a I don't know, what would you call a spectator?
Yeah.
From the escape room.
She kept
who was
telling-
watching us and making
Yeah.
sure we didn't ruin anything. So.
The tone was off when she was like, "Don't open that bookcase," and you're like, "I'm gonna."
It was misleading.
Uh-huh.
I thought I was doing what I was supposed to do, but in fact, I was doing the one thing you're not supposed to do. So
Well.
it all worked out in the
Yeah.
end. So anyway, what have you been reading, buddy? Let's talk
shoot,
bookmark.
I don't have my Goodreads open.
Well,
I
I'll
don't have my
tell
phone.
Oh, look at that.
I got it.
Do you want me to tell you what I've been reading?
Yeah.
Okay.
You always read more than me.
Thank you.
Actually, I think I got you beat this
I
weekend.
finished. Oh, okay, cool. Well, I finished quite a bunch of stuff over the break. I
No,
took
you
a
win.
long weekend.
Well, so did I.
Well, I took Friday off though, so I had a 4-day weekend, which I haven't had in a long
Right.
time. So I did quite a bit of reading. I read "I Am America" and "So Can You" by Stephen Colbert.
Yeah.
Have you read that?
No, but I've read America and Earth by Jon Stewart.
Yeah. I've only read "America," the Daily Show book. That's pretty good.
Okay.
Is Earth good?
Yeah, it's pretty funny.
Nice. We listened to the audiobook of this one. So Stephen Colbert reads it, and he has a couple other people read it. Jon Stewart read one. It was very funny. So it was definitely worth the read, and the audiobook made it even more fun because Colbert delivers it so well. I read Shockaholic, Carrie Fisher's second memoir.
Yeah.
Not as impressive as Wishful Drinking. It felt like the
too
deleted.
soon?
Sorry. I mean, it was still good. The writing is great. Her style is just very fluid and natural. But this felt a little bit more like deleted scenes from Wishful Drinking. It wasn't as cohesive as the other one was.
Okay.
So I would still recommend it. It's a quick read. It's still
You can
fun.
just watch her performance of that. Her live
Yeah,
act.
yeah.
It's on HBO.
Yeah, she toured it. I know it is in the system. I have it on hold, but
Mm-hmm.
everybody has it on hold. So sooner or later,
Okay.
I'll get it. I've not abused my power to push myself higher on the hold list.
Yeah.
So because I'm ethical. But
Yeah.
anyway, that was good.
You're a
We just
merciful
got our
dictator.
copy of The Princess Diarist in, so I've been wanting to read that as well.
Right.
It's her diaries and commentary that she was doing
Yeah.
while making Star Wars.
Yeah, that's where we find out she had an affair with Harrison Ford.
Harrison Ford, yeah.
Yes.
I was shocked.
Yeah.
I wasn't really.
No.
I wasn't.
Did you see? Did I already talk on the podcast what Mark Hamill said?
No.
He said he was he was just too busy being into himself to
Right.
know any of that was going on. He was
Right.
just too busy being beautiful, I
Yeah.
guess. So
I read Before the Awakening by Greg Rucka, maybe even a J Junior series set before The Force Awakens. So
yeah.
I don't know why. I just was interested and happened to pick it up. I've read Greg Rucka's comic stuff.
So
but I
that's like
haven't
what,
read-
3 a.m., 4 a.m. for the Force?
Yeah. Yeah. And then I had been reading, and I finished The Daily Show Oral History, which is just the Jon
So you're
Stewart
just
years.
all on.
I guess,
Daily Show
yeah, accidentally.
right now.
The Daily Show was a Christmas present.
So next is
Trevor knows. Yeah, I do want to read that. I
So
do
there
want
you
to
go.
read that. The Daily Show Oral History was good. It is an oral history. It's just producers and correspondents and people telling stories and stuff. And then they're organized in a way that it follows a natural progression. It took some time getting used to because there's not a lot of overarching narrative. It was just
I read a few back in school. I read a few books about political satire on TV and everything, and there were a few I read a few histories of the Daily Show and stuff like that. So it'd be interesting how much of what I read might be in that too.
Yeah, probably. I would have liked a little bit more on the early stuff, like the Craig Kilborn era, and a little bit more on the transition into Trevor Noah, and it was just Jon Stewart focused, which is fine. But I was curious about those things and would have liked to have known more. But I would recommend.
Did you see his movie?
Fans of the Daily Show, Rosewater. No, I haven't.
Okay,
I haven't. But that's sort of what led to the rise of John Oliver. Because he took off a summer from the Daily Show to do that. John Oliver filled in as guest host, and then they didn't lock him up. They didn't put a deal in place, so he hopped over to HBO.
Yeah. I remember when Steve Carell, back when he was on it, when he covered for a week or two.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah, Rob Corddry did for quite a bit.
I'm not a big fan of Rob Corddry.
Anyway, good stuff on the Daily Show there. I read some graphic novels. I reread Jughead because I've been loving the Archie series so much, and I didn't like Jughead so much. So I reread it, and I liked it a lot more this time. I think the humor landed for me a little bit better.
Surprise ending.
Now that I've read the other stuff.
Okay.
But
now that you knew that
it's very different. It goes in these weird asides where he suddenly they're in the Game of Thrones and stuff, and it just the first time I was like, what is this? And I was prepared for it. So pretty good. Second volume I think comes out in March.
That sounds right.
Are you going to follow any of those series, do you think, for the YA?
Yeah,
we're going to get them. Josie and the Pussycats and Betty and Veronica come out over the summer, I think.
I haven't seen our really creepy what's her name? The witch.
Oh, Sabrina
I haven't seen the creepy.
Jeez.
We got a copy of Sabrina the Teenage Witch, the new Vertigo style one, and it's never here anymore.
It's too scary. I can never read that. Sabrina makes her debut in the real the main Archie series in Jughead Volume 2. Yeah. So it's a lot of Archie talk that probably no one but me and Mark Wade are interested in, but
and people from my hometown of Haverhill, Massachusetts,
because it was the basis for
Riverdale. Yeah.
I'm also excited about the Riverdale show. That's coming out on CW.
Your Archie
January 26th. You coming over? You gonna come watch it?
When is this?
It's January 26th.
Oh, really? That's soon.
I know. It is soon.
All right.
I read Earth 2, Tower of Fate. I like the Earth 2 series. It's weird. This is set on a parallel.
I was about to say, you better context that for some people.
It's a series, a DC Comics series set in a parallel Earth. So it's a different Flash, Hawkgirl, and Green Lantern. Yeah. So I like it because it's sort of self-contained. You don't have to worry about all the other stuff going on. And then finally, I read Amazing X-Men: The Quest for Nightcrawler, Search for Nightcrawler.
It
was good. It was quirky and weird. I did not expect it all to be.
That's the same guy who wrote the Wolverine in the X-Men series, where Wolverine takes over the school. Yeah, and that's also quirky, weird. But I loved it.
I didn't dig into that so much. I read the first volume and was kind of like, meh.
Yeah,
but I know we have volume 2 of Amazing X-Men coming, so I do want to read that.
Quest for Nightcrawler was pretty fun.
Yeah,
it's very swashbuckly.
Yeah,
definitely. Nightcrawler has been gone for a while in the comics since Second Coming. I'm not going to get into the X-Men history. I could do a whole podcast on X-Men history. Do you want to do a
podcast on X-Men history?
Yeah,
we can do it when the Logan movie comes out.
Great. Well, I meant a full-time
separate podcast.
Oh
my gosh! Wow.
Just an X-Men podcast every day, every week.
I would be learning along with our listeners. So that could be fun. I could be their way in.
Yeah. What I liked about that comic was that it's the art was also very fun and colorful.
Yeah.
And so it was just a fun comic. Mm-hmm. Anyway, it's a good standalone too.
Yeah.
It's one of our more popular ones here at the library. The David A. Howe Public Library.
I know. I'm currently reading Star Trek: The Lost Years.
What is that?
By J.M. Dillard. It's set between the end of the series and the start of the movies in that middle period.
Book?
It's a book.
Okay.
Yeah. It's a 4-part.
I can never tell.
It's a 4-book series.
Nice.
Yep.
Always
Pretty
bringing back
nerdy.
to Star Trek.
I just want to.
This is the first time I've talked about X-Men in a while.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
So, but you talk about Star Trek every week.
Not every week. Maybe every week.
I gave Nick a knowing look there.
He gave me kind of a Whoopi Goldberg look.
Yeah. Hey, you remember that dream I had about
please don't
Sister
talk
Act
about
3?
Sister Act 3.
No. Here's what's happened. 2 days ago, I had another dream, but it wasn't about Sister Act 3. It was about me knowing that it was a dream and me trying to convince people that it's funny that I had a dream about Sister Act 3.
Yeah.
So now my dreams are trying to convince people that it's funny.
Inception. You just keep your dreaming.
I just keep falling into this Sister Act.
You know how when somebody says, "Oh, I had this weird dream," and when you're the person hearing that, you think, "Please don't tell me about your dream." That's me and all of our listeners right now. Nobody wants to hear about your dreams.
Jeez.
I'm sorry.
Right.
No, I'm sorry. Please.
No, it's fine.
Tell me more about your dreams.
No,
were you wearing pants? Was it one of those situations where you
it's a
showed
dream
up,
where I was telling people that my
driving a
dream
car
was
and the
funny.
driver
I don't want to get
vanished
into
and
it.
you were there. Okay.
What did I read?
I don't know. I
didn't
asked you
open
that
my
before,
Goodreads.
and you.
I read Micro by Michael Crichton.
And Preston, Douglas Preston. Is that right?
Douglas
That's the
Preston.
other guy? Yeah, I like Micro.
I couldn't tell.
Good stuff.
I don't know. There were some times where the writing wasn't completely up to snuff, and I'm like, is that Preston? Was that Crichton on his way out? So
Well, I'm sure. I mean, it wasn't a completed manuscript, so
Yeah.
he probably
So-
would have done another draft or two.
Yeah.
So hard to say.
yeah, but it was good. It was Jurassic Parky.
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
it's Jurassic Parky, I guess
Yeah.
is my description.
You're
of it.
more of a Crichton expert than me. I didn't notice any suddenly.
No, I had a hard time
writing, but
knowing when one author
Okay.
started and the other began.
I never heard just how completed it was.
Yeah.
Was the whole thing outlined? Did Preston have to finish it?
I don't know.
I don't know.
They said mostly completed, I think.
Yeah, okay.
But
It's better than Pirate's Latitude.
that's true. It is better than Pirate's Latitude.
Yeah.
I was surprised. There's a character that you think is the main character,
Yeah.
and then he dies.
Yeah.
And it was just a surprise. I'm like, oh, well, I did not think that was going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
It was very, I don't know. It's the first time that's happened in a Michael Crichton book for me anyway.
Oh, okay.
Usually, you know which character
Yeah.
is going to.
Yeah.
But, I don't know.
Sometimes characters die and it doesn't matter because they come back in the second book anyway.
Yeah, you're talking about Anne Malcolm in the Lost World?
Yep.
What else about that book? It was good. It was gross.
It was
probably
gross.
one of his grossest
It was
books.
gross, yeah. They're shrunk, so there's a lot
yeah.
of gross bugs.
It's funny though
things
because he's
that
talking about a
happened.
lot of it is a lot of gross bug stuff. A lot of wasp laying eggs in people's arms.
Pass.
Should I not have?
I don't want to hear it.
It was talking about nanobots again and everything,
Yeah.
but he had also just done that with Prey. I said also just, but that was a few years before anyway. Which was I thought like we're gonna read it again. There was stuff. It had some of his best and worst tendencies in it, with the characters. It used to be I remember reading Jurassic Park and the characters.
And now you're a fan of Jurassic Park, is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay, all right, go on.
I wish I could explain to our listeners
Yep.
why that was funny. In the first Jurassic Park book, the characters might not be super well defined.
Yeah.
They might not be multi-dimensional characters, but they have a history. He'll usually spend a whole chapter just telling you about how the character
Right.
got from where he used to be to the point in the book, and you learned a lot about that character, even if the character himself wasn't.
Yeah, it was a little more exposition than just a natural.
Yeah.
You get to know
But
this character.
in Micro, there's very little of that too. It's just a paragraph for each character.
Yeah.
This character moved from Germany, is now
Yeah.
here, and that's all you get of that character. And then they never develop either.
No.
So the characters.
No, I think that was just. I think you just want them to get micro. You want them
Yeah.
to get little and start living
But
their Honey I Shrunk the Kids.
I guess I noticed
fueled
that.
reality.
I guess I noticed he was doing that more. He was just. Maybe he just wanted to get to the ideas and the stuff faster. Maybe
Yeah.
he was just more impatient as he got older.
Yeah. Well, it's so hard to
because
know when it's
Next was
incomplete.
like that.
Oh, was it? Okay.
State of Fear was a little like that. So there you go.
Now you really just have. You can't avoid Airframe very much.
This
longer.
one, Micro. Yeah, I have to read Airframe now. Micro struck me as maybe he actually did plan a sequel
Could be.
or wanted to sometime.
Is The Lost World the only sequel?
That he did?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I thought so.
Yeah.
All right.
Got you there. And that's it. I read a bunch of comic books. I don't want to get into it.
What? What do you mean?
I read Paper Girls, Volume 2.
Yeah.
The funniest part of that
Brian
was,
K. Vaughan, good stuff.
so it's a bunch of girls from the 80s. They're
Yeah.
time traveling by
Yeah.
accident. They're all lost in time and everything. And they come to the present. And on TV, they turn on the TV, which they think is amazing how big it is and everything. But then they turn it on and it's
And thin. How thin?
yeah. It's a commercial for the newest Ninja Turtles movie.
Yeah.
And they just can't. They're just they're mind blown by the Turtles. They're
Yeah.
just it's 3D, but without the. That was funny.
Yeah.
I cracked up at that.
Yeah.
I read some Batman. Not
Okay.
so good.
Oh, Scott Snyder stuff.
Scott Snyder stuff. Kind of a letdown. Endgame. It was this big Batman Joker story, and it was kind of a letdown after Death of the Family.
yeah.
And then I read some. I read
read-
Poe Dameron.
Oh,
Which was
eh.
fine.
Yeah.
But it's too new. He's too new of a character. The movie, we haven't seen him enough in the movies to know what he's like to write about him.
Well, I think that's why it was such a missed opportunity, because they could have used the comic to flesh him out.
Yeah, but then
But they didn't.
in the second movie, I mean, in the episode 8, they might change all of that.
Yeah.
It just feels like we just don't know enough to really base a story off him yet.
Yeah.
So we just know that
Probably would have
he's
worked
kind
if
of
it would
jokey.
have been like Black Squadron. Like it would have been the whole team, and
Yeah.
so we didn't really have to like.
I guess I just don't.
Dig in.
Here's what I don't understand about the new Star Wars movie. I don't understand the politics.
Yeah.
I don't understand what the resistance is resisting against,
Right.
and I don't understand who's the leading government. Is
Yeah.
it the new
It is the New Republic.
It's the New Republic, but
Yeah.
you've got the Old Empire, whatever they're called. I can't
Yeah.
remember.
First Order.
The First Order.
Yeah.
So I guess I just don't know. So who's the resistance in term? Like, wouldn't they just be the New Republic's army?
Yeah, but they're sort of a fanatical branch. Like the New Republic doesn't see the First Order as like a huge enemy. They don't feel like they're fighting a war.
Mm-hmm.
They're too like fractured, and so
Mm.
Leia starts the rebellion, or what it's called? Is that what it's just called? The rebellion?
Resistance.
The resistance. The resistance.
Did
Leia
you learn
starts
this
the
from,
resistance to go and like.
Bloodsport or whatever it was
Fight
called.
them.
Bloodlines.
Yeah, in part.
Bloodsports is
Yeah.
a John Claude Van Damme
Yeah.
movie.
Yeah.
So starring Princess
Yeah,
Leia.
it does go a little deep into the politics in Bloodline.
Yeah.
Claudia Gray.
You read it.
Bloodline.
I didn't.
I know. You said the name differently, and then I
right.
couldn't remember what it really was.
I'm reading
So, anyway.
Every Hidden Thing.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember that? We talked about it in our Sexy New Books
Oh,
segment.
yeah.
It's the one about the boy and the girl. Their fathers are competing paleontologists.
Yes.
They're off to go discover the
You're
T-Rex.
so relevant. Look at you. This is like a sequel episode.
Yeah.
So you're following up
So,
on it.
well, I was like, I need to read a YA book. I realized I hadn't read one in a month or two.
Mm-hmm.
So I grabbed that one. So far, so good.
Nice.
Talking about dinosaurs every
Okay.
now and then.
Yeah.
Mainly, it's just
And now
about,
you do like the dinosaurs.
do I like dinosaurs?
You do, yeah.
Occasionally.
You do, okay,
yeah.
sometimes.
In
Good.
somewhere. Yeah.
Yeah. Small doses. Sure.
I guess we talked most about Jurassic Park love and dinosaur love back
Early
episodes.
days, yeah.
Back when I was trying to read
Season
Dinosaur
one.
Lords
Season
and I was
one.
let down. Season 1, is that what we call
Yeah.
it? Yeah.
Yep.
So,
Yeah. Okay.
yeah.
So that's it.
yep.
All right.
That's all I read.
Exciting
Oh,
stuff.
and I watched Alien Resurrection. That has no bearing.
No.
But it's kind of good for me because I watched the first Alien back in like 2005, 2004, and I've slowly watched the rest of the series since then.
I've only seen Prometheus. That's it.
Oh, where?
I saw a little bit of Paul Reiser once on TV, and that's it.
On Oh,
Aliens.
like he was in Aliens
Yeah, I was
on
like,
TV.
what is this?
Yeah.
What is this weird Paul Reiser movie?
I don't think anybody calls Aliens a Paul Reiser movie.
Then I figured it out eventually, but I was still very
So.
confused by the fact that Paul Reiser was in it.
It's taken me, I guess, 12, 13 years to watch 4 Alien films.
Well, you've done it.
Yeah.
You've done it.
I'm not a fan of the franchise.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I guess 3 is my favorite, which makes me like the least popular person in a room full of Alien fans.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I finished Mad Men over the weekend.
The show?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. We
Boy, we're relevant.
I know.
Mad Men and Alien Resurrection.
Well, we watched the pilot of Mad Men like live when it aired,
Yeah.
and then like stuck with it. And then we didn't have cable anymore, and
Yeah.
blah blah blah. And we never like actually saw the final season, so checked it out from the old STLS system and finished it. And now it's like bittersweet. I miss it.
Sorry, man.
Good show. You're not into it, right?
It's fine. I've watched 3 seasons.
Yeah, but you're not like.
I mean, enough to say I've watched 3 seasons.
Are you going to continue?
I don't know.
Yeah.
So
you're not that in it.
So depressing.
Yeah.
don't know.
Okay.
That's it.
Okay.
All right. Sorry, I got no sleep
There's
last
like a
night.
surface
so I'm not like
depression.
super.
I guess it's like the deeper issues, and
Yeah.
it's a long game. You know?
I
You're
guess
like
I'm more
looking-
interested in the actual business of advertising when it happens on the show, and less
advertising in the '60s.
yeah,
Okay.
and less more on like who's sleeping with who.
Right.
So
Okay.
that's all.
All right. So you want to know about Utz potato chips, not Don's latest conquest.
No, I guess yes.
All right.
Yeah, I
Works
guess
for me.
so.
Well, let's talk book stuff. What do we call this?
It's just book news.
Book news.
Book
Okay.
stuff.
Book stuff. What's coming out?
In January 17th.
Yeah.
That's technically today. People are going to know because we didn't have one out yesterday.
They
But it
will
was
know.
the holiday.
I know.
Normally we're really good about this.
Yeah.
But Nick,
You did.
he just didn't want to record.
That's not
I was
true.
like, Nick, we got to
But
record
I'm
something.
actually glad you brought that up because I had a little, I had some books here that I wanted to mention. So January 16th is when we celebrated Martin Luther King Jr. Day.
Uh-huh.
And obviously his message of freedom and inclusion and all that is relevant all the time. So it's nice to have this day to set aside to think about that sort of thing. And so I just pulled aside a couple of books here about Martin Luther King, that time, his mission, and all that that I wanted to mention for anybody who's interested in looking ahead. Probably the best, most the one I'm losing the word. The one that really gets down in depth for the whole thing is a 3-part biography trilogy by Taylor Branch. This won the Pulitzer Prize, this trilogy. So the books are Parting the Waters, America in the King Years, 1954 to 1963. Pillars of Fire, America in the King Years, 1963 to 1965. And At Canaan's Edge, America in the King Years, 1965 to 1968. So it takes those, 14 years and digs deep. So this is sort of one-stop shopping there to get the whole landscape. And this did win the Pulitzer Prize. So this is sort of held up as, the place to go. So anyway, these are available in our system. We can always get this kind of stuff.
We have the graphic novel series March.
Yes, which has been hugely popular.
Yeah, it really it's won awards. The last one just won an award as well, right?
It did.
What is that? Not the Man Booker. Was it the National Book?
Yes, I think it was in the National Book Awards. Yeah, and Goodreads Awards as well. Yep. So, that shows its popularity, too. Yeah. I think that's a really clever way to approach that topic because, they're well-received graphic novels. Yeah. So, a kid can pick that up.
Well, it's like Mouse and
engaging. Yeah.
Persepolis. You're probably going to get... people who read, read that stuff educationally anyways will pick it up, but people who don't might still pick it up.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. I think it's much more likely that somebody would accidentally come across the graphic novel, than somebody, a teen or whoever who's just going to dig through the nonfiction. It's another way, I think, to get that kind of stuff out there. So, and we do have all three in the YA graphics.
That's true.
Anyway, sorry, I interrupted. What's coming out January 17th?
Actually, there is a book that's coming out the 16th. It came out the 16th.
Oh, boy.
Never Never.
Really messing
by
with
James Patterson.
Here. Okay.
What's wrong?
Nothing.
You just looked over all concerned. Is it your Captain Kirk?
No, I'm good.
James Patterson and Candace Fox.
Okay.
Never Never.
Never Never. Okay.
Nothing?
I don't know. No, I don't know anything about it.
Okay, well, it's book 2.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. It says, in the Never Never, no one knows if you're dead or alive. Ugh. Which I guess could be true.
Is that his weird, dystopian sci-fi one?
I don't know.
Okay.
I'm never going to read it.
Oh.
There's not a lot of books coming out this month. All right. This week. Last week was the...
Oh, okay. That's Harriet Blue. Detective Harriet Blue. It's an Australian mystery series.
Okay.
It started as a bookshop.
All right. Got it.
Black and Blue.
Okay.
If you'll recall. We talked about that quite a bit.
Wait, wasn't that Private Down Under?
No.
Okay. It's too confusing.
Yeah.
The Patterverse.
Yeah, that's right.
Indelible. A masterful, enthralling debut novel about fate, family secrets, and the stories of our bodies tell by Dahlia Saunders.
Okay.
She has an unsettling gift. She sees the truth about people written on their skin. Names, details, both banal and profound. What does banal mean?
I don't know.
Okay. So that's neat. She's like a reverse tattoo man.
Yeah.
Illustrated man. Mm-hmm. Tattoo man is a DC villain?
I don't know.
DC superhero universe villain?
Yeah, he's D Squad. I don't
Illustrated Man is a Ray Bradbury book. That's the one I was going on about. All right. Night of Fire by Colin Thurbron.
Okay.
He's an award-winning best-selling novelist and a travel writer. And he returns to fiction with the first novel in more than a decade. So that's why I haven't heard of him.
Welcome back.
Yeah. Welcome back, Colin.
Mm-hmm.
Welcome back,
Cotter.
Right. But Colin.
Even though I said Cotter, you still...
I said Carter.
You said Carter.
Yeah.
That would be like if Jimmy Carter made a surprise return to the presidency.
I guess.
He's still eligible. Just one term. So,
really?
Yeah, you can come back.
What's he doing?
Habitat for Humanity.
Oh, okay.
Writing books.
Mm-hmm. It's probably fine then.
Yeah.
Hey, Harry. Hey, Matilda by Rachel Holland. Holland.
You're picking weird things.
Nah, this is all that's out.
Okay.
Remember last week when it was all from... If you enjoyed...
Yeah, it was a bounty.
Yeah, it was a bounty. Hey, Harry, hey, Matilda is the story told entirely in hilarious emails. Oh, that's clever.
Boy.
Emails.
If you have to say it's hilarious.
Yeah. of fraternal twins Harry and Matilda Goodman as they fumble into adulthood, telling lies and keeping secrets, and finally confronting their complicated twinship.
Well, if there's anything twin teenagers do, it's email each other all
I
the
know.
time. That's great.
They must be older.
They had this is an old, somebody wrote this years ago and they're dusting it off. They had to go through and change email or
Right.
from fax.
Hey Harry
they
at
fax each other.
yahoo.com.
Yeah. Yeah. Hotmail.
Yeah. Oh,
Hotmail.
Hotmail's gross.
I'm always surprised when people have an AOL email address.
I know.
I'm like, how is that still a thing?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
It's like
Name's still open, I think.
CompuServe.
I think we could. You and I could still log back into Instant Messenger.
Could we?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
So
Let's
I don't
bring it
remember my
back.
password.
No, I don't either.
So
Huh.
I think I did try to just log in recently, and I
Yeah.
couldn't remember my password at all. I don't even think it's attached to the same email anymore.
Weird.
It's gone. Human Axe by Han Kang.
I'm sorry. Axe is in like axe, like a fireman's axe.
No.
Or axe is in things you do, or axe is in axe you a question.
Axe, like axe in a play.
Axe.
Okay.
ACTS.
Yes. Okay.
The human axe would be pretty cool.
In the mist. In
He's
the
like, "Ja!" Just chops through a door with his axe-shaped body. Oh, you wouldn't read that?
I guess.
You're a liar. Why don't you go dream about Sister Act some more?
All right. Well, I'm gonna bring it down a bit because this
Yeah,
is from
you're
Man
right.
Booker,
We should-
international
we should
prize-winning author of The
de-escalate.
Vegetarian. It's about the violent student uprising in South Korea. So,
Well, thanks for making me look like an idiot.
well, you know, I tried.
I just joked about Sister Act, and now you're getting all heavy.
Sorry. Human Axe, Sister Acts 3, Human Axe. That's what you were
Yeah, that's
trying
what I
to
was
make
thinking.
fun of. Yeah. You're a monster.
Yeah.
The Futures. Did you hear
Plural.
the S at the end? Yeah,
Plural.
The Futures.
Okay, more
In
than
a
one.
dazzling debut. Oh, wait. By Anna Patoniak.
Anna Paquin.
No.
Oh.
She's busy being cut from X-Men
Yeah.
movies. In the dazzling debut novel about love and betrayal, a young couple moves to New York City in search of success, only to learn that the lives they dream of may come with dangerous strings attached.
Futures.
Yeah, Futures.
Okay.
What's the last
I'm not sure.
sentence here?
I'm right here.
What?
I can't see your screen.
The
though.
Futures is a glittering story of a couple coming of age and a searing portrait of what it's like to be young and full of hope in New York City, a place that so often seems determined to break us down,
Doesn't it?
but ultimately maybe the very thing that saves us. Yeah. There's been a few times where New York City has saved me.
Yeah.
So
true.
The Nowhere Man.
Please
a
listen.
bit-
You don't know what you're missing.
Yeah, he's a bit like me and you.
Yeah.
Is that how it's?
Yeah.
Well, no. What's the one I say?
I don't know.
He's a bit like you and me. Is
Okay.
the real lyric.
All right.
And I think that's. But if you said me and you, it'd rhyme.
Okay.
Anyway, Nowhere Man, an Orphan X novel by Greg Horowitz.
Greg Horowitz.
Yeah,
What does he write? Why do I know
kids
that
book
name?
sometimes.
Yeah.
Is Orphan X a kids book? No,
Did he just write that? He writes Alex Rider, doesn't he?
maybe,
And he wrote that Sherlock Holmes recently. Is that right?
maybe.
I don't know.
Yes. Why don't you look up Greg Horowitz's
Well,
bibliography?
I don't know what you just said.
Greg Horowitz. I can't say it. The Rising
By Bruce Springsteen?
by Bruce Springsteen. No, by Heather Graham
What?
and John Land.
Oh, Heather.
Yeah,
Heather.
she's getting a co-author now.
Come on now.
From acclaimed thriller suspense novelist Heather Graham and John Land comes a story of action, mystery, and endurance of young love in The Rising. Mm-hmm. There is a few songs about young love in Bruce Springsteen's The Rising.
Bruce Springsteen, the writer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
24 hours. That's all it takes for the lives of two young people to be changed forever.
Yeah, it makes sense.
When they move to New York City.
It'll save them.
Yep. And communicate through their emails.
Wow. That's
So
great.
it's all coming back.
Talk about your nowhere, man.
All right. I got two young adult books. Did you
Okay.
find anything about Greg Horowitz?
I don't know how to spell the name, so no, I didn't.
Huriwitz? I don't know what I just spelled.
Oh, 2 G's. Oh, okay. So this is not who I'm thinking then.
Oh.
Yep. Evan Smoke. He writes the Evan Smoke books. That's what we're
Okay.
talking about? Yeah.
I guess
All
so.
right. I'm with you now.
All right. So two young adult books. Here we go. History is All You Left Me by Adam Silvera. This comes out January 17th as well.
Okay.
Nicola Yoon, who wrote Everything, says, this book will make you cry, think, and then cry some more. No, thank you.
Hey, you know what? I've read Greg Horowitz's Batman book. Batman The Dark Knight Volume 2, Cycle of Violence.
Oh, there you go. I must have read that
So
too.
who am I thinking of? Is it Anthony Horowitz? Who writes those?
Yeah, Anthony Horowitz. There you go.
Okay.
When Griffin's first love and ex-boyfriend Theo dies in a drowning accident.
Theo from The Cosby Show?
No. Yes, Theo from The Cosby Show. His universe implodes. Man, that's sad.
You know what's really sad? I didn't do a Bill Cosby impression because it's all tainted now. Can't do it.
Yeah. Sad that you even just brought it up.
Yeah, well.
This is the big one. This is the big young adult book.
Okay.
Probably won't be here. No one will check it out. It'll just sit there for weeks.
Hey.
Months.
Don't take it so hard.
Carve the Mark.
What's a stupid name?
Well, you tell that to
James
Veronica
Jasmine.
Roth.
Oh.
Author of the Divergent series.
Well, people are lukewarm about the Divergent series.
You loved it.
No, I didn't love it.
You loved the book.
I liked it.
You loved the movie.
I like 3-starred it. The movies are nonsensical.
The movies are
The
bad.
movies make zero sense.
Well, if you liked Divergent,
Did anyone?
some people did.
Seriously, though. Let's talk about this for a minute. Because
Divergent?
because you have things like the Hunger Games, the Maze Runner, and they have these like hardcore, serious, devoted fans who love these. And they especially the Hunger Games, like bleed over into like adult readers and other things. I don't think that Divergent has that. Like, I don't think it's on that same level. I feel like people think it is because of the failed movies / new TV show.
I think it did pretty good.
Does it?
It still checks out.
Really?
Ford checked out. We got that like little short story collection of 4.
Yeah. But
And
would
this
you put it on par with the other ones?
Popularity wise?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't think so.
It's before my time
Okay.
and working in the industry.
Well, this was a rewarding conversation.
Sorry, man.
So thank you.
I remember seeing it in stores all the time and being like, what is this? What is Divergent?
Because no one was buying it. Would you ever read the rest of the trilogy?
No.
Oh.
I've seen the movie. I've
Sorry.
seen 3 movies.
Okay.
No, I'm not going to read 2 more books.
Is the third movie any good?
No.
Oh, okay.
It was terrible.
Sorry.
The third movie killed the franchise.
Yeah.
The third movie should have ended the franchise,
Yeah,
but instead
but
it killed
didn't.
it.
Yeah.
Oh, it was so bad. It was so boring. Miles Teller, he's hilarious in it because his character just feels like it's representing maybe Miles Teller himself because there's so many times he's like, I don't want to be here.
Yeah.
I'm done. I'm sick of this. It's like, okay, was that ad lib?
Yeah.
Was that
Seriously.
fans of
He made 2 very fatal mistakes. Fantastic Four.
Yeah.
Signing on for the steaming turd that is the Divergent film series.
Yeah.
So, poor guy.
Yeah.
Whiplash is great, though.
Yeah, it is.
Good stuff.
That's the only good thing I've ever seen him in.
I've seen him in other good things.
Name me one
I
other
can't
thing.
think of the name of it,
Okay.
but I've seen him in other good things.
All right. War Dogs.
He's got that other one with Shailene Woodley that's pretty good.
Good luck right now. No, I don't know.
Okay.
Fans of Star Wars and Divergent will revel in international best-selling author Veronica Roth's stunning new science fiction fantasy series. On a planet where violence and vengeance rule, in a galaxy where some are favored by fate, everyone develops a current gift. That's one word, a current gift. No spacing. A unique power meant to shape the future. While most benefit from their current gifts, Akos, oh boy, I hope I pronounced that wrong. Akos and Kyra with a C-Y-R-A, do not. Their gifts make them vulnerable to others' controls. Can they claim their gifts, their fates, and their lives and reset the balance of power to the world? Oh boy. Hold on. Kyra is the sister of the brutal tyrant who rules the Shotet people. Kyra's current gift gives her pain and power, something her brother exploits, using her to torture his enemies. But Kyra is much more than just a blade in her brother's hand. She's resilient, quick on her feet, and smarter than he knows. Akos is from the peace-loving nation of Thuvhe, and his loyalty to his family is limitless. Though protected by his unusual current gift, once Akos and his brother are captured by enemy Shotet soldiers, Akos is desperately trying to get his brother out alive, no matter what the cost. When
like this.
When Akos is thrust into Kyra's world, the enmity between their countries and families seems insurmountable. They must decide to help each other to survive or destroy one another.
Bravo.
Carve the mark.
Bravo. Carve the mark. So it sounds like they're little current gifts, which, first of all, is a stupid term. But it sounds like those are going to be used similar to the way, like, the factions in Divergent were used, right?
I don't know, man.
Like,
maybe.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe kids will be like, oh, I'm in the Shotet people clan. So.
Too bad her current gift isn't storytelling.
Sometimes it's just like, some people will probably be named John.
Yeah.
And David.
Yeah.
In the future.
Yeah.
They might be named, Brittany.
Yeah.
They're not
I've told
all
you
gonna-
how in the Star Wars Expanded Universe, Jason Solo, it took me years to figure
realize
out that
it
his
was
name is just
Jason.
Jason.
Right, but they spelled it
Just
differently.
Jason.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Makes it a lot easier.
but I mean, this is just it's the same thing with like Katniss
much.
and everything. I'm like, well, how far in the future is this?
But that's at least a name that we can say. I mean,
Yeah.
it follows the rules of phonics. We know what a cat
It could
is.
be Akos. It's AKOS.
AKOS.
So it could be
Can we call him Bacos?
bacon.
Little faux bacon you put in your salad?
Yeah, sure.
All right.
All right.
What if we just call him faux bacon?
Yeah. What if we just don't read the book?
Yeah, that's also an
All right.
option. A really viable option.
What do we got? We
I don't
spent
know,
a
man.
lot of time making
You
fun of
tell me.
Veronica Roth
Yeah,
for
we
her
did. Boy.
success and
She never hurt anyone.
Multiple
well,
houses.
except for Miles Teller's career. Other than that, she never hurt anyone.
Miles Teller's made his own choice.
He did.
He saw the Fantastic Four contract before
Yeah,
he signed it.
he did.
He was like, what could go wrong?
Sign me up.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Do you think he signed that before? I mean, he's not really a name.
No.
We only know him because
He made sure of that. Fantastic Four and Divergent.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
Yeah,
hey, Paul Reiser also in Whiplash. Just to tie it all
how
together.
true, yeah. Paul Reiser.
Okay. Is that it? Are you done?
Yeah, I'm done.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Let's talk large print. Boy, that book you just described sounded silly. So I'm going to go with something that doesn't sound silly at all and tell you that, folks, you can get it on the ground floor of Dewberry Farm for the #1 book in the Dewberry Farm mystery series by Karen McInerney called Killer Jam. Killer Jam.
Killer Jam.
So the cover is great. I mean, the cover of this is great. You've got a farm in the background.
Yeah.
You've got what
Daft
looks
Punk produces killer jams all the time.
yeah.
Nobody,
that's true.
Nobody
You're
writes
right.
books about
You're
them.
right. You got a cow grazing in a field, lovely house behind him. You got some newspapers, and you got some spilled jam right on the cover.
Yeah.
So that tells you everything you need to know. This is a Dewberry Farm mystery, Killer Jam. Let's talk about the title. Let's talk about the title.
Phil,
That's not an expression.
What, Killer Jam?
Killer Jam.
Well, if the jam is killer.
Yeah, but I mean, it's not one of those things where it's like
Like if you're allergic
I'm
to
in a
raspberry
jam
and somebody
or-
hands you a raspberry jam, that's a killer jam, man.
yeah, but would you ever say Killer Jam outside of like you said, music wise?
Like a Euro club?
yeah, right. That was a Killer Jam.
Yeah.
Well, you'll have your chance in March to read this in large print because
Okay.
Killer Jam is coming your way.
All right. Stop saying killer jam.
Killer Jam.
All right.
Death Stalks the Rangers.
Yeah.
This
The Power
this-
Rangers?
No,
'Cause that's true.
Texas Ranger
Oh.
Sean Kennedy.
Uh-huh.
When a Texas Ranger is murdered, his fellow Rangers will stop at nothing to find his killer.
Mm-hmm.
Lone Star lawmen Sean Kennedy and Levi Mallory follow a cold trail across Texas to track down the man who shot Ranger Thad Dutton. And neither vicious outlaws
happening,
nor a
Will?
ruthless town boss will keep them from settling the score for their fallen comrade. This has a ridiculous cover, so I'm
Okay.
not going to explain it to
All
you.
right.
This is coming out in large print, new to large print. So again, ground floor right here. You
Yeah.
can have it. We'll have this in March. Let's talk standard print, and let's talk our favorite punching bag, the James Patterson Bookshot. We've got two.
We're doing him way more service than he's doing us in this podcast.
That's true.
We're getting all 37
Yeah, I know, but
listeners
it's-
into James Patterson.
But that gives us a lot of fodder
That's
to
true.
talk about. So without Jimmy P, what will we talk about? And we
know.
have a lot more listeners than that. So
No,
please don't
Okay.
don't sell yourself short. You always do that, man.
I'm sorry.
All right. James Patterson.
Guess I'm in a killer jam emotionally.
That's right. James Patterson Bookshots, juror number 3. Now, to answer your question before you ask it, this is not book 3 in a new juror series. I
thought it was.
This follows juror number 3 in a
okay.
jury.
Yeah.
Co-written with Nancy Allen.
Okay.
Juror number 3
he
has
doesn't even have time to write book shots.
He doesn't have time to write bookshots. No. He can churn one of these out on the toilet, and
What
here
is
he is farming
doing
it out.
when he's just like sitting around not writing Alex Cross?
When you have that much money, it's a real burden.
Yeah.
Juror number 3 has a shocking secret. Struggling young attorney Ruby Bozarth has landed the murder case of a lifetime. Her gut says he's innocent, but only a jury can decide. And this jury has a secret.
Uh-huh. Secret jury.
Yeah.
Oh.
They're still trying to figure out their current powers, so they can't focus on
Current gifts.
current gifts. Sorry.
Yeah.
Also from James Patterson, with new co-author, and this is a super easy name to pronounce, and I'm sure I'm going to say it right, Dwayne
That was-
Swearzinski.
Oh.
Swearzinski.
Great job on Dwayne.
I know. Anybody who has a name like that, just too confusing. I can't even pronounce it.
You looking over at Jessica for affirmation?
No, she just has a
Listeners
crazy last
wouldn't know
name.
because Jessica's been quiet over in the
she's
corner
off the
working.
mic. Yep.
But previous guest of the show, Jessica, is here.
She is here.
And
yeah. Jessica,
Nick,
give us a big hello.
Hello.
All right.
Yeah,
and
she's here.
Nick just, as he was saying that, he turned to Jessica to, like...
She has one of those last names that has 6 or 7 consonants right in a row, and I always have trouble. I have to stop and think. I know it now. Wise check. Mm-hmm. There you go. See, I can do it. Anyway, let's get back to The Shut-In.
Okay.
By James Patterson and Dwayne Swearzinski.
All right, The Shut-In.
I know you're watching me.
This is a book shot.
Oh, boy. Creepy. I know you're watching me. Confined to a studio apartment, Trisha Celano watches the outside world through a flying drone. Ooh, look at that.
Yeah.
Relevant. But when her high-tech toy records a vicious murder, she's determined to track down the killer, a killer who knows she's being watched. Hold on. Is this just an update of Rear Window? Because that's exactly what it sounds like to me. Just throw in a drone, get rid of Chris Reeves, and you've got the latest.
Chris Reeves?
Christopher Reeve, yeah.
Was in the remake.
Yeah. I'm saying this is the even newer.
Okay, more than
Remake.
Disturbia.
More than Disturbia, yeah. It's
Sorry,
even newer
Shia
than Disturbia. Let's not talk about Shia LaBeouf. Let's not bring things down.
All right.
Let's move on to standard print. Oh, boy, Ann Perry fans, look out.
Yeah?
What were you going to say?
I was going to say you already said let's move on to standard print.
Oh, I
and
guess I
covered the
mean
book shots.
let's move on to books, real books.
Ooh, burn.
No.
Oh, boy.
They're novellas.
You just lost a lot of
They're
book shot
novellas.
Fans. All right.
Murder on the Serpentine, a Charlotte and Thomas Pitt book number 32 in this series. We read the first in this book series for the book club earlier this year. Not you,
Okay.
but the book club read it.
When's my next book club?
I don't know, man.
Woman in Cabin 10.
That's not for a while.
Oh.
The Queen. What's the plot of that? Never mind. We don't have to get into that. The Queen of the Victorian Mystery. New York Times bestselling author Ann Perry returns with a 30-second novel in the Inspector Pitt series, Murder on the Serpentine. Pitt is on a secret mission for the Queen. Maybe his last.
Great.
He'll probably be fine.
Yeah. His current gift will get him through.
It sure will. That's coming out in March. Lisa C., new by Lisa C., a thrilling new novel from #1 New York Times bestselling author Lisa C. explores the lives of a Chinese mother and her daughter who's been adopted by an American couple. The Tea Girl of Hummingbird Lane by Lisa C. This is coming out in March. Mm-hmm. Have you read any Lisa C.?
No.
I don't think I have either. That's it. I'm going to cut us there.
Okay.
Got a lot more.
Great.
Danielle Steele. Yeah, coming up. But I'm not going to tell you now.
Okay.
You got to come back for more later
Yeah.
on.
All right.
So let's talk New York Times
bestsellers
bestseller.
list for hardcover fiction.
I'm ready. I'm excited.
All right.
I'm so excited. Where's the Whistler going to be? Who knows?
Well, Woman in Cabin 10 is down at number 16.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
How the mighty have fallen.
And this is a big drop for it, but Night School by Lee Child dropped down to 13.
The gift-giving season's over.
Yeah, it really is. Yeah. But
And so is the Jack Reacher film
I'm
series.
I'm still surprised. Rogue One, a Star Wars story by Alexander Freed, the movie novelization, is at 11.
Wow.
It's been in this
Pretty
section
good.
for like 3
Yeah.
weeks now.
Yeah.
I am surprised that a
Yeah.
novelization is. I mean,
I don't think The Force Awakens did that well.
no.
But I guess this movie has a lot more, like, it would be, like, I felt like, oh, I want to read this novel so I
Yeah.
can, like, dig into it a little deeper. It
was great.
So, have you read Catalyst yet?
No.
Okay.
Well, that one looks like a longer, drier read.
Yes.
So, all right. So number 10 on the bestsellers list for hardcover fiction.
I'm ready.
Tom Clancy: True Faith and Allegiance by Mark Greaney.
Jack Ryan Jr.?
Jack Ryan Jr.
That's cute.
JJ.
Yeah.
JRJ.
JJ? JRJ.
Yeah. Number 9. 9 weeks on the list. The Chemist by Stephanie Meyer.
Holding strong.
Yeah.
We just got our copy of Life and Death, Gender Swapped Twilight, in the young adult section. So, all of you beating down the door saying, where's that gender swapped Twilight?
Bo and
Edith.
No, Edith doesn't sound right. Maybe it is.
Okay.
Oh, I don't care.
All right.
Number 8.
Honesty.
Small Great Things by Jodi Picoult. Number 7.
Like donuts.
Donuts are donut holes.
Small great. Yeah, even smaller great things. Yeah. Timbits.
Yeah. Number 7, No Man's Land by David Baldacci. Holding strong.
Yep.
The Badalch.
No surprise there.
Number 6, Cross the Line by James Patterson by himself.
Solo Patterson.
Yeah.
Yep.
Solo P. Detective Alex Cross and his wife Bree
Great.
team up to catch a killer causing chaos in Washington, D.C.
Now I know there's a Bree.
Yeah.
Subsetting.
Sorry, man.
Go on.
Number 5, The Underground Railroad by Colson Whitehead. Now, this
Topical
was...
because that is our book club book.
When?
Well, we'll meet in February to discuss it.
Nice.
Nightingale is technically today, so you're
right.
probably too late to join this book club. Yeah. But we're starting Colson Whitehead's Underground Railroad for our next book.
Yeah, that made Nick's top 10 books of 2016 list.
Yep. Probably the most highly regarded book I read in 2016.
Yeah. When did you read that while it was
I read
popular?
it when it first came out.
Okay. Number 4, The Whistler by John Grisham. Drop down to 4. Stop.
Whistling.
Number 3, Below the Belt by Stuart Woods.
Look out.
Let's see. New York lawyer Stone Barrington.
I don't think that's allowed.
What?
I think that's like a technical foul.
Yeah.
Like at a boxing match.
Well, Stone Barrington faces danger when he finds himself in possession of a retired CIA agent explosive memoir.
Is the memoir called Below the Belt?
Maybe. Do any of these titles ever make any sense? Family Jewels
sometimes. I think my favorite title of he has a book called Loitering with Intent.
Yeah.
And I just think it's clever.
That's great.
Yep. That's all.
Number 2, 2x2, Nicholas Sparks.
Nikki Sparks.
14 weeks on this list.
You know, we should mention for our February 13th podcast, we're going to be talking Nicholas Sparks with a special guest.
Yeah.
An old friend of mine, a current wife of yours.
Current wife. Yep.
So that's coming up.
Really, her how she performs on the podcast will determine whether or not she stays current wife.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
There's a lot riding
high
on
stakes.
this. Yeah.
High stakes.
So
that's
we'll
great.
see.
She's been preparing for this visit on the podcast for 10 years now.
10 years, yes.
Ever since she first found Nicholas Sparks.
Yeah, that's true.
Walk to Remember? Is that what brought her in?
The Guardian?
The Guardian.
I don't know.
Guardian's her favorite. I know she said that.
Well, we shouldn't spoil all this.
Oh my gosh. No, sorry.
All right, number 1, new this week, no surprise here, The Mistress by Danielle Steele.
I am a little surprised.
Oh, wow.
I guess
Danielle Steele, queen of fiction. And you're surprised that she's at number 1?
It'll probably stay here. Like, it probably won't be there next week. I'm sure it'll take a dump. But
you better hope Danielle Steele's not listening. She just sent her guys after you.
It doesn't matter. She doesn't have time. She's already got her next follow-up book coming out. So,
the beautiful...
like I just said, she's got. You know what? I'm gonna tell you after all.
Okay.
Dangerous Games by Danielle Steele coming out March 7th. March 7th.
That's 2 months.
Yeah.
She's got plenty of time to put a hit out on you.
It's not Danielle Steele and somebody else.
Yeah.
She's turning these out like Joyce Carol Oates style. She just keeps going.
Okay.
Anyway.
The beautiful mistress of a Russian oligarch falls in love with an artist and yearns for freedom. Sounds pretty good.
It does, yeah.
Danielle Steele, printing money. Mm-hmm. That's all. That's all we got. That was number 1.
That's the whole list?
Yeah, that's what happens when you get to number 1.
That's exciting.
Sure is. Mm-hmm. All right. So you want to get to our segment?
I sure do. You want me to introduce
Yeah, I thought so.
Okay, all right, sure.
This is your baby.
This is my baby?
Yeah.
You're the one who wanted to do it.
That's true. You want me to say it then?
No. It's all right. We've already wasted enough time talking about it. We're going to be talking about the most anticipated books of 2017.
Wait.
Some of these
didn't we just do this?
That's what I said off mic. You're not supposed to bring it up.
No, we didn't just do this. Last week we talked about,
Page
in case you missed it, the movies, the books that are being turned into movies in 2017.
Yeah. Not necessarily books coming out this year, but movies coming out based on books. Now we're talking about page to continuing on page. Is that what we should call this segment? Page to still on page.
So these are the most anticipated books.
Page to page.
I got some young adult books that are anticipated.
Yeah.
Nick's got some adult books that are anticipated.
And I've got some sick beats. Are you ready?
Yeah. Stop. Boy.
I'm sorry. I'm just in the mood for a killer jam. I don't know why, but it's just like it keeps...
Yeah.
All right, so let's talk 2017. Now, some of these are books that I am particularly, like me personally, am excited about. Some of these are what the world at large tells us we should be excited about.
I think we talked about this last year when we were trying to talk about like books we were looking forward to and realized like I'm just not up to date with anything that I can't ever say like I've got something to look forward to this year. Especially with like, I'm behind with Brandon Sanderson books.
Yeah.
Michael Crichton's gone.
No, well, Dragon Teeth is still coming out though.
When's it coming out?
2017.
That's my most anticipated book of the year.
I know, I'm sure it is, yeah.
Michael Crichton writing about the wars of fossil hunting.
I like to be. There's not a lot of series that I'm up to date on, Like I love Murder, She Wrote, but I'm behind like 5 years on that series.
Yeah.
I always like jump right to the new Grisham book, but I've been bitten twice now. Road Lawyer and whatever.
Twice
this
bitten,
was,
third
the
shy.
Whistler.
Is that what to say?
Yeah. So we'll see about that. There's a couple authors that I anticipate. Stephen King is another one.
Yeah. I guess what happens is like a book. If I'm reading a new book, it comes out and I see it, and I'll be excited to read it, but like I don't anticipate them. You know, like I'll see one like, oh, that looks cool, and like the same thing with like young adult books. Like I guess I look forward to them more being added to our collection than me actually reading them. Some I think are cool, like The Cure for the Common Universe. When that came out, I was looking forward to reading it, but it wasn't like
there's one
anticipation.
on this list that I'm pretty excited about.
All right,
so well, let's dive in. So you've got some mostly young adult titles.
Yeah,
over
you
there.
want me to start?
Right. I think I have more than you, so let me dig in.
All right,
we have.
What's your list? We're borrowing lists from the internet.
I'm cobbling some things together. Some of these I found on thevulture.com. Some of these I found on Entertainment Weekly. The Vulture tends to have more...
Entertainment Weekly had like 35 books. I
think the Vultures are more like highbrow, like award kinds of stuff that they're pulling. Entertainment Weekly is a little bit more like
I guess I just
that will be best
don't respect Entertainment Weekly at all.
You don't respect Entertainment Weekly? Wow.
No, all their views like that just, I think, are trash. I've thought that forever.
Huh.
So...
That's a bold and inflammatory statement, and I want to thank you for saying that right before I used this Entertainment Weekly list. Your timing was impeccable, so thank you so much.
I just thought this was my moment to be brave.
Yeah.
And stand up to Entertainment Weekly.
Good for you. Yeah, take that. Sleeping Beauties by Stephen King. This does not have a release date yet. Working on it with his son,
Is this
Owen
yours?
King. Yeah, it's a
Wait,
novel.
Owen King as in Joe Hill?
No.
So who's Joe Hill?
Joe Hill is Stephen King's other son.
Oh,
He's got more than one child.
Yeah. He's got a monarchy.
Collaboration
fear.
with Owen King, Sleeping Beauties. The project was announced back in September. It doesn't have a release date yet. No. I would expect it in 2017, and when it comes out, I'll check it out.
All right.
Little father-son combo here.
I'm going to look up a cover of Dragon Teeth.
Okay. I don't think they've released it yet, but go ahead. I am looking forward to, let me mention one, David Sedaris. Now, you've only read Holidays on Ice. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. That has some great stuff in it. Probably not my favorite. My favorite's probably Dress Your Family in Corduroy and Denim. But his, I find usually his stuff based on like his family life is my favorite. Stuff from his childhood. I think he's pretty much mined that to death, so I don't think there's going to be a lot of that more. But coming out May 30th from A Little Brown and Company, we have Theft by Finding. Diaries, 1977 to 2002 by David Sedaris. So these are just his weird anecdotal thoughts on things that happen, and that I feel like is where he really like shines. So I'm excited to read these. I actually haven't read his most recent essay collection, Let's Talk Diabetes with the Owls. I've always wanted to, but
okay.
But those are best audiobook because his delivery is so good. So I just haven't like sat down and listened to this yet.
Right.
But I am excited about Theft by Finding, so that's coming out May 30th.
Okay. Are you going to talk about Dragon Teeth when it comes?
No, go ahead. I think it's only right that you talk about Dragon Teeth.
May 23rd.
I broke this story, but
that's true.
You can run with it.
May 23rd, 2017. I'm looking at the cover. It's awesome.
Is it?
It makes me. It's no. I mean, they're definitely trying to harken back to Jurassic Park with this when you see it. It's a cowboy riding on his horse.
Oh, wow.
Which is walking along a T-Rex skull that looks like a mountain hill. It's very cool.
Very reminiscent of The Lost World in particular, that cover.
Oh, yeah, the Lost World cover was so good.
Yeah.
So was the Jurassic Park. Anyway.
Yeah, I'll take it.
All right.
I mean, it looks fun.
So that is exciting.
Do you think that, I wonder if there's any connections to Jurassic Park?
Probably not.
You know, I wonder if, you don't think?
I don't know.
All right.
It's rough reading when they're like, when somebody's like, and the dinosaurs are dead, and it's just a fossil, like story about their fossil. I'm like, darn it. Maybe the twist at the ending was like, oh no, we've discovered a cave full of dinosaurs.
Yeah.
And now it's a rip-roaring adventure.
Okay.
Rip and roaring.
Yes.
Because that's what both.
I get it.
That's great.
Here's one that I'm looking forward to. It's coming out in October. I was just mentioning my love of Mad Men. Watching it. This is the creator, Matthew Weiner, is writing his first novel. So he wrote a lot of the episodes of Mad Men, including the finale and some of the bigger episodes. So we know he can write. We'll see how he works with prose fiction. But this is called Heather, the Totality. Mad Men creator Weiner's literary debut is the tale of a family and a psychopath.
Okay.
Coming to you in October.
Yeah.
What do you got?
Let's see. Caravel by Stephanie Garber. This comes out January 31st. I guess this has already been read though. It's her debut. It's fantasy. It's set in the world of Carvel, a once-a-year performed-based game that the audience participate in. That seemed like nonsense to me.
That is very
when sisters
confusing,
Scarlet and Tella are invited after waiting their entire lives, they leave their home behind for a dangerous 5-night game with love, magic, betrayal, and more. Okay, so there you go.
All right.
But yeah, I've seen this everywhere.
Okay, so that's something you know.
Yeah.
All right. Another well-known name going into a different direction here. We have Daniel Handler's first. I want to say this is his first adult novel.
Okay.
Maybe not.
Okay.
Take a peek at the opening lines of the. Yeah, here's the opening. No, I'm not going to read it. You know what? I am going to read it. Let me put it this way. This is how much I think about sex. Draw a number line with 0. Is you never think about sex, and 10 is it's all you think about. And while you're drawing the line, I'm thinking about sex. So not your Lemony Snicket of the past here.
Yeah.
So this is an adult novel called All the Dirty Parts. So quite a divergent from what he's written in the
Divergent?
past. No, not with that.
Oh.
I don't know that he's published under his actual name, Daniel Handler, before.
Yeah.
I guess maybe he must have some obscure thing, but he's best known for a Series of Unfortunate Events, which is now a Netflix.
So if you like Series of
Neil
Unfortunate
Patrick
Events,
Harris,
you're going to like All the
series
Dirty
right
Parts?
now. All the Dirty Parts, yeah. So this is coming out August 29th.
Have you watched that? No, you don't have.
I haven't. No, I've heard good things about it.
Yeah.
His writing, his Lemony Snicket writing, it's a little snarky. It's clever. It's a lot of wordplay. So I imagine it would translate well into.
I saw Series of Unfortunate Events, the movie, in theaters.
Jim Carrey.
But I haven't watched the Netflix show.
No, I haven't seen that either.
But I guess I don't really have like any desire to. I'm not really connected to those.
Have you not read them?
No.
I like them.
Though Patrick Warburton's in it, so that's
funny.
usually a win.
Yeah, I like him.
So,
All right.
King's Cage by Victoria Aveyard. This is the third book in the Red Queen series. So I can't say what it does because it's spoilers.
Oh, yeah.
If you haven't read the first two.
You didn't care so much about spoiling Alex Cross for me, but I'm glad that here you.
So what is that? That's Red Queen and the Glass Crown.
Okay.
Glass Sword?
Yeah.
I can't remember, but King's Cage.
These are pretty popular.
These are very popular.
Remain.
Yeah. Almost as popular as Truth Witch.
Truth Witch. I love it. I'm gonna have to read it.
Okay.
This is a trend that I don't like so much when this happens. Sarah Schmidt's coming out with a novel called See What I Have Done, and in it she tackles the Lizzie Borden story, which may or may not have unfolded as we've always thought. I don't really like when we take like a historical thing and like twist it and say, but here's what really happened. It just
That's why you don't like Jack the Ripper
doesn't
stories.
really interest me. Yeah, I guess you're right.
Winter Song by S.J. Jones, February 7th. This is another debut, which is already gaining traction and high praise.
Okay.
Follows a 19-year-old Liesel, a simple girl, helping run her family's inn and composing music based on her fairy tale dreams of the Goblin King. However, when her sister is taken by the goblins to the actual Goblin King, Liesel goes after her and offers her life as her sisters become the Goblin King's bride. While he still inspires her music, Liesel finds herself losing bits of the girl she was while under his spell. Is this Labyrinth?
Maybe. I haven't seen Labyrinth, so I don't really know.
God, you're a monster.
Sorry.
I always find these things out about you that if I had known before we were friends.
To be fair, you've known that I haven't seen Labyrinth for years.
Yeah.
And that doesn't mean I don't like Labyrinth.
Yeah.
It means that I haven't seen Labyrinth.
I don't understand.
All right,
How's that
Angelica Baker, new debut author here, Our Little Racket. It's called, coming out June 20th. When an investment bank collapses, the women in a fallen CEO's orbit must reassess their own roles. Cynthia D'Apric Sweeney, author of The Nest, upcoming book club book.
Oh, yeah, The Nest.
Says, Angelica Baker is wildly talented, and this debut is her gorgeous opening note.
Okay.
So you can check that out June 20th.
The Ship Beyond Time by Heidi Heilig. Comes out February 28th. This is the sequel to The Girl from Everywhere, which is it's like a blue greenish wave. Looks like Listerine with a ship on it.
Okay.
Actually, now that I think of that, it really does look like Listerine.
Maybe it is.
So that's great. I don't know anything about the book. It's a time. She's on a time traveling ship.
Okay.
So
that sounds fun. I love time travel. We should do a time travel spotlight sometime. That would be fun.
Have I read enough time travel? I've read Timeline.
I haven't read Timeline, but I will. That's going to be my next book.
Maybe that's what we should do. We should spur it on.
I'll do it. Yeah.
So.
All right. Well, I mentioned how my wife and I have been watching.
Oh, jeez. Go ahead. The next book. It's funny.
Terry Brooks series, Legends of Shannara, the MTV series. It's out right now. We've been watching through that. And this is the Shannara books have been going on since like the late 70s, and there's so many different like little offshoots and everything. It's kind of hard to follow. The series is
It's so funny that you're at home. You and your wife are just watching an MTV fantasy series.
Thank you. Anyway, that's based on one of the books in one of the early trilogies. Terry Brooks is starting a new quadrilogy that supposedly is like, that's it. This is done. He's only going to write 4 more books, and then it's done.
Okay.
So Terry Brooks' The Black Elf Stone is coming out June 13th. Mm-hmm. So you can take a look at that.
Yeah. All right. Well, okay, so this book is by Rin Chupeco.
Rin Tin.
Rin Chupeco.
Canine Cap.
She is the author of The Girl from the Well.
Okay.
And The Suffering. Those are like horror books that we have in our young adult section. The reason I haven't read the title yet is because I know you're going to laugh.
I'm ready.
It's called The Bone Witch.
This has got to be connected to the Truth Witch series.
Nope, this is not part of the Witch series.
Yes, it is.
No.
Sandwich.
No, I told you.
When does Sausage Witch come out?
Truth Witch is getting the sequel, Wind Witch.
Wind Witch.
Yeah.
Truth Witch, Wind Witch, Bone Witch.
Bone Witch is different.
But those are real. But Beach Witch, Sandwich, Sausage Witch,
right? Those were fake.
Are fake.
Those were a
up.
parody. Yeah.
Bone Witch, real.
Right.
Sandwich. Fake.
Okay.
Okay. No, I'm just trying to get it straight.
So The Girl from the Well, we only just added that to our collection, but it did check out a few times during the Halloween
defensive.
series.
You sound pretty defensive.
It did check out. Yeah.
That's it. That's all I got.
Oh, I mean, I got another one. Strange the Dreamer by Lainey Taylor.
I like
the
that
new
title.
series from the daughter of Smoke and Bone author follows orphan Laszlo as he goes from being a junior librarian to following his dream and a hero named Godslayer across the world to a mysterious local called Weep,
Well, I
where
don't like
tragedy
it. I don't like
took
any
place
of that.
200 years ago.
I don't like the title. I don't like the author's
Hold on.
name.
Laszlo must
Lainey.
solve centuries-old mystery and answer a few of his own haunting questions in the start of this fantasy series. Comes out March 28th.
Okay.
You don't like anything about it. Got it.
I don't like anything about it.
All right.
Here's one that I'm excited about. And also, I love the cover. Into the Water, coming out May 2nd by Paula Hawkins. Paula Hawkins of Girl on the Train fame.
Oh, yeah.
This is a follow-up. So, a lot of pressure. Usually the sophomore entry is the not good one.
Right.
You know? Second books tend to sort of, boop,
Yeah.
you know. I think that's kind of true with, like, Gillian Flynn. Dark Places was my least favorite of her 3. But this, you know, hopefully will be good. As the millions of readers who devoured The Girl on the Train know, author Paula Hawkins is very good at playing with your perception, and she does it again in her new novel, Into the Water, which she says is about sisters who have a very messy history, and 2 women who turn up dead weeks apart at the bottom of a river. So it's really mining new territory here, I think, with this book. If you were paying attention, you would have laughed at my ride joke.
No, I
there,
get it.
But, okay.
All
right.
Well, if you're counting John Lang as Michael Crichton's first one, then Scratch One is his second book. So I haven't read that.
I've read it.
Is it good?
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Well, that's the second book.
Yeah.
Unless you're counting his actual Michael Crichton books, then it's The Terminal Man.
I haven't read Terminal Man.
Okay.
I've read Andromeda Strain. Is that helpful at all?
No. All right. Always and Forever. Lara Jean. Is it Lara Jean? Yeah. By Jenny Han.
Do you say Jenny Craig?
No, Jenny Han.
Oh.
This is part of the P.S. I Still Love You, To All the Boys I've Loved Before series. So if you've read those, like Nick has, you'll be excited for this one.
Okay.
So they're YA, they're young adult romance novels, but they're very popular. They check out all the time. And then I've got A Court of Wings and Ruin by Sarah J. Maas. Comes out May 2nd. Oh. This is the third of her other series, A Court of Thorns and Roses. So this comes out May 2nd.
Mm-hmm.
No cover. No cover.
That's sad.
Yeah. All right, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
All right. Flame in the Mist. I'm reading from Pop Crush, whatever magazine this is. I just tore down Entertainment Weekly, but I'm on Pop Crush.
Pop Crush. That's got to be real.
This is from the author of the Wrath and the Dawn series. Comes a new journey about a samurai's daughter. Okay, I'm on. Mariko, who is stuck in an arranged marriage to improve her family's standing. A gang called the Black Clan tries to kill her while she's traveling to the city, so Mariko goes undercover Mulan style as a boy to infiltrate the group and find out who is after her.
Okay.
That seems insensitive to say because Mulan is Japanese.
Oh,
Anyway,
okay. Alec Baldwin coming
What?
back with it's like a memoir.
Wow.
I think he's written one before, but it was about like his horrible, messy divorce and the after effects of that.
so this one's just about him being a jerk.
Yes. This one is called Nevertheless. The actor gets candid about his Long Island upbringing, struggles with addiction, storied career, and family.
That's
What's
a
interesting
weak
about Alec
title.
Baldwin? He has a weird career.
Yeah.
Because, like, for a long time, he tried to be, like, leading man Alec Baldwin, and it never
Right.
really panned out.
Well, it's because he didn't play Batman.
The shadow went nowhere.
Yeah.
You know, well, I mean, not that really helped, like, say, Val Kilmer, for example. But, you know,
Okay.
then he had, like, this, like, second act as this comic actor, which is, you know, I really feel like SNL resurrected his career and, like, put him on the trajectory.
He's funny in Beetlejuice.
Yeah.
You've never seen it. Don't.
No, but I mean, it's so early. That was long before he turned into like a comic actor. Kind of like Vince Vaughn. Remember how Vince Vaughn was like the menacing stepdad for like 10 years? And then people were like,
Yeah.
oh, he's funny.
I guess I only ever knew him as Nick Van Owen.
I don't know what that is.
He's the photographer in The Lost World Jurassic
The
Park.
Lost World Jurassic Park, sure. Mhm. Yeah. All right.
Lord of Shadows, Cassandra Clare, The Dark Artifices. Artifices? Yeah, Shadowhunter novel, book 2.
Well,
I'm
she
sure we'll
cannot
get
be
this.
stopped. She can't
We'll
be
get
stopped.
this, and it will never check out. Just like her first book, the whatever it was, the Queen.
These are
lady.
confusing to me. Her books, like, there's so many little like sub series
Yeah.
and stuff. I never.
This comes out May 23rd.
When people ask me questions about that,
Please check our book out once.
I don't know. Peter Heller, Celine, coming out March 7th. This is about Celine Dion. Just kidding, it's not. Celine, a PI, investigates a case in Yellowstone National Park that quickly becomes far more complex than the random animal attack it was made out to be. This is by Peter Heller, and I love the cover. It's green. It's got binoculars upside down.
Okay.
I don't know. It's really
That's
working
it?
for me. It's got a retro feel to it. I
Okay.
like it.
Yeah.
That's all. I'm judging a book by its cover.
Okay. House of Furies by Madeline Rowe.
This is about all the personalities living in Nicolas Cage's head.
Yes,
that
House
right?
of Furies. No, this is a new series. This is the first book in a new series by the author of the Asylum series. And I got those so we would have them for Halloween, like last year, 2015.
Yeah.
And they check out all year.
You did that for a book club, didn't you?
Yeah, but they're always going out, like different pieces. So I guess it's a popular series.
Okay.
So she's got a new book. We'll be getting that. What is this? Our Dark Duet by Victoria Schwab. This is the second book in Schwab's Monsters of Verity series. Savage Song was the first one. I haven't read these, so I don't know what they're about. Comes out June 13th.
Okay. George Saunders, who's known more for short stories, has a new novel coming out. Again, great cover. Called Lincoln in the Bardo, coming out on Valentine's Day. Saunders' first novel, which unspools during one long night in a graveyard, is narrated by multiple voices. And I gotta say, it's working for me. It looks cool. It sounds cool.
Okay.
I want to know about it.
Okay. That's all I got.
That's it? Okay. I have a few more I want to mention.
That's a
Joyce
lot.
Carol Oates, A Book of American Martyrs, coming out February 7th. Again, this is the one that she was writing when she was here. So if anybody's curious about that, that's coming out February 7th. Two families collide in Oates' latest, that of an evangelical Christian man who murdered an abortion doctor and the physician's grieving wife and children. So
Jeez.
not an easy book, as hers tend to be. This one also, Eline Mastai, All Our Wrong Todays. A man from a utopian parallel universe ends up in our 2016 after a time travel mishap. So that sounds like it would be hard to make that good and not heavy-handed. So hopefully he's up to the task. Finally, I will mention Alexander McCall Smith's My Italian Bulldozer. So if you were here and heard McCall Smith talk, he gave an extended story about this book, My Italian Bulldozer, and it kind of brought down the house. People loved the story. So the book that story was inspired by is coming out in March. I have my copy already. So
There you go.
Pretty advanced stuff going on over
Yeah.
here. So you can get that in March, and that's one that we will definitely have. So is there anyone in particular that you...
Out of anything I just said?
Yeah.
Just the Michael Crichton book.
Okay.
There's some
that's
young
your
adult
next.
that you're probably excited for, though, that I didn't. May
Lois
1st,
Lane.
Lois Lane, book 3.
Yeah. What's
You
that
and
called? Can't
nobody else.
My
Triple
sister-in-law
Threat.
also loves them.
Triple Threat.
Yeah.
So I guess they're doing that Stephanie Plum kind of titling. So the next
Is
one.
it?
Well, the first one was whatever Fallout, but the second one was Double Down.
Double Down.
And now Triple Threat.
Triple Threat.
And then Quadruple Quest.
Yeah.
So
That's not bad. That's not bad. I gotta tell you.
And then you got August 29th, Wonder Woman Warbringer by Leah Berdago. She writes the...
Like a young adult book?
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, Marvel and DC are getting on it. You've got a Captain Marvel book coming out next year, I think.
Huh. Like Carol Danvers, Captain Marvel?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, and I mean, we've got 2 of the new Black Widow books.
Oh, okay.
So
yeah, I got an advanced copy of that first book. It's not advanced anymore, but I always wanted to read it. I just never sat down
I thought you had already
to read it. No.
All right. Well, that's all I got.
A lot of good stuff.
No, nothing that was nothing like last year where I was like, oh, I might read that. But that list was a lot of like sequels or.
No, there's quite a few I'm excited about, and I skipped over several for time that sounded
Stephen
intriguing
King
to me. So we'll keep up with it.
Okay.
But anyway, remember we need ratings. We need people to rate us on iTunes, share us with their friends.
I mean, okay,
you can follow
That's
us.
That's a desperate plea.
No, it's not a desperate plea. I'm just saying, a lot of people like the show.
Yeah.
Not a lot of people review the show, and it's helpful. So take a minute, review it on iTunes.
It's just a quick segue, I guess. I was like, I guess I'm not really that excited. You're like, rate us.
That's probably drawing attention to it.
Yeah,
made it seem even more stark. But
so hungry, and it's because you took those crackers away from me.
I'm sorry.
Nick had like 10 saltines
Nobody
just
wants
sitting
to hear you
here, and he took them away from me.
Nobody wants to hear you chew. You can find us on Twitter at All the Book Show, Facebook David A. Howe Public Library.
Right.
You can email us at wellsville@stls.org. No one
true.
has ever emailed us, so if you want to be the first,
Yeah,
this could be your chance.
how are you going to relate to hi Harry, hi Matilda if you don't
if you're not emailing,
yourself?
Constantly.
That's the same thing. Attachments was emailed, right? By Rainbow Rowell?
Yes, it was. That's a little bit. That premise of that was a little bit more believable though, because that was an inner office thing. So like,
also, you know what? That's set in
the
the 90s, isn't it?
It is set in the 90s. Yeah, you're right.
So that makes
way
more
more
sense.
relevant there.
So she comes up with these concepts. She's like, "Oh shoot, I got to set this back then."
Yes.
Yeah. Somebody with their.
I'll mention too. A couple of our upcoming talks are going to be. We're going to talk Dan Brown in a little bit when the DVD of Inferno
Well, Nick
comes
and
out.
our guest will be talking Dan Brown.
Yeah.
I'll be sitting here with Wikipedia open, going, "Did you know Dan Brown's a lefty?"
That's helpful.
Yeah,
that's helpul We're going to be talking Nicholas Sparks. That's going to be a rough one.
Nick and our guest will be talking Nicholas Sparks.
Why me?
Have you read any Nicholas Sparks?
No, but I will.
You're going to read Nicholas Sparks in less than a month.
I'm committed.
Valentine's Day's coming, man.
I know.
All right, you've got less than a month. Which
so
one are you going to read?
Things I don't know.
His shortest?
Yeah, those are a couple things that we're going to be talking about. So if you got thoughts on those, we'd love to hear it.
Knights
as
of
always.
Rodante.
Next week, this is exciting. Remember, you can find us on SoundCloud.com/allthebooks. You can find us on YouTube. YouTube is the one I want to talk about though, because next week, star of the radio, Peter Mengels, is going to be here with us filming as he did for episode 50. So you'll be able to find this in glorious color.
I might have to update our YouTube.
Okay. Again, not relevant to our talk, but Pete will be filming us next week. So you'll be able to listen to it on the Angelica radio station or download it as you normally would. But if you want to seek out the video of it, you can find that on YouTube, and we will link that on Facebook and Twitter. So you'll definitely be able to find it.
All
right. Let's talk library news. What do you have coming up? You're shocked by this every
single
week.
Well, it's because I never have
amazing.
We just got our normal programs.
Yeah.
So Card Club on Tuesdays at 3 o'clock. Mm-hmm. Anime Club Wednesdays 5:30. I guess that's it.
Okay. Our next after
Minecraft movie. Mondays 3 o'clock. On Mondays.
Next after school movie is the
Middle School.
James Patterson.
Yeah, there you go.
Based on Jimmy P.
So I heard the movie's not good.
Oh, really?
But that's all from adult reviewers.
Well, it's got Lauren Graham, and the kid is the kid from Private Practice. So it's got some people that I know. Our senior matinee.
It's got Retta from
Parks and Rec.
Parks and Rec in there.
Senior matinee coming up on the 24th. We're showing The Intern. That's at 2 o'clock. Robert De Niro, Anne Hathaway. Eric's been bugging me about showing that. Our first family matinee. We always have a kids matinee the third Saturday of the month. So this one is going to be January 21st. We're showing Secret Life of Pets, which I've seen 75% of.
You loved.
And I hope the first 25% was good, because the second...
You could not slapping your knee.
Yeah, I know. I was bruised from slapping my knee so much. But kids loved it. My son loved it. So come on out. Free family entertainment.
But your son didn't like Trolls.
He didn't like Trolls, no.
So your son is 2.5?
Yeah.
2.5 didn't like Trolls.
No, he didn't.
It has to be pretty bad.
Just I don't know. We don't have to get into digging.
All right, we'll talk about it when we show Trolls.
Our book clubs are currently reading Underground Railroad by Colson Whitehead, as I mentioned, and I've Got You Under My Skin by Mary Higgins Clark. And you probably want to brush up on your Julia Spencer Fleming reading, because Julia Spencer Fleming, author of the Claire Ferguson books, starting within the Bleak Midwinter, will be here March 31st.
What?
Yeah, so she'll be giving a talk. She'll sign some books. It'll be a lot of fun. That's coming up March 31st. We have everything. We have all of her books in our collection, so we can hook you up. That's it. That's all I have.
Yeah.
Anything
That
else
was just
from
a
you?
weird delivery of that.
Thank
no,
you.
I got nothing else.
Okay.
I guess
You
maybe
kind of like an internet troll, but like here in person.
What?
Like I'll say something that would just like people would just accept, but you're like, that was actually really weird. So save it for the comments section.
right.
Is all I'm saying.
If listeners care, by my current trajectory, I'll be watching Alien versus Predator 2 Requiem in about 3 years.
3 years.
So
Okay. Good to know.
So
All right. Well,
in 3 years I'll be reviewing that.
I think that's going to do it for us. Jessica, do you want to say goodbye to the people?
Bye.
Okay.
Jessica's
That was Jessica. She's really bringing us down, I think, energy-wise. All right. We will see you next week in living color for episode 75.